were just here at the QCY depot. So thank you for that. Appreciate it. KD0JNQ. I'm going to let the repeater do its thing, and then we'll come in and make this little announcement, and we'll get things going. Okay, and for those who really would like to just join us, like in YouTube, I've also got it running on YouTube. What we're going to start doing here tonight is once a month for sure, and depending on the participation tonight's going to really help out, so I know what's going on. I'm sorry about the little interruption there with QC Wide. I don't think it was more my fault because I did not look into it quite good enough. I don't remember anybody saying that they had anything going on Wednesday night. So anyway, we're going to just run a check-in. And then as far as what we chat about, I'm going to just leave it to the check-ins and all that come in, and we're going to just treat this like home. But as long as we're legal and everything's going right, we won't have to do anything here other than let people talk. And this is just like home. What we're going to call it is we're going to call it the fireside. And it's just all us guys, we get on in here. And it's just a fireside chat is all it is on the 9-4 repeater through their wire system. And I think we're also working through another wire system in Long Grove, and maybe a couple others are connected in. So we want to thank all the check-ins for coming in. What we're going to do is we're going to check you in by state, okay? And we're just going to do that. We're going to start out and do it that way until it gets so numerous that we got to either go to numbers or names. There's one thing we'd like to do is that I'm going to try to run this as a roundtable session. We'll get the check-ins, and then I'll come back around, and we'll get your comments. Whatever you may need help with, if it be Radio World, you like to go frog fishing, whatever we can help you with, boats, cars, whatever, especially things like music, because we have a few check-ins that are really into music, auctioneering, whatever we can use this for. But please try to keep it mostly ham radio affiliated if we talk about radio, okay? And that way we keep our other friends worldwide, we keep them in the loop too. So, I mean, we can get off on other ham radio frequencies, but as far as a few other bands, Citizens Band and a few other places, I'd like to kind of keep that to a minimum. So thank you, and I appreciate you all coming in. So what we're going to do, my name is Steve. I'm in Davenport, Iowa. Let me let the repeater reset real quick. That way we can get that out of the way. I'm in Davenport, Iowa. We're working on the 146940 repeater owned by the W0BXR Radio Club. And we have our Radio Club members. We are more encouraging not only Radio Club members, but people worldwide to come in and see what we got going on. And just sit down and enjoy the session, okay? Now, what we want to do is we want to grow from the Davenport Quad City area. Our goal is to grow worldwide. That's my goal. So I'm looking for people at least on the W0BXR repeater to want to do a net as net control one day out of the month. If I get 4 of you, we got her made. I got 2 so far. So I want to encourage you all to invite your friends. Any way we can do it. We can get it here worldwide, and it's going to start going on. So anyway, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to start this net out just for calls. If you could give me your call sign, both, I'm slow, I'm old, I'm over 19, okay? And your name and the state you are in. That way I know exactly what I got. I'm going to try first with Iowa. Let's get it going. Do we have any Iowa check-ins? Kilo, Delta, Zero, Joliet, November, Quebec. Steve, your way. Bring it here.
0 VQP in a state of confusion.
Gotcha, Terry. Thanks for that one. Any other Iowa check-ins? Come on in. G GGB Dave, thanks for coming in, man. We appreciate you here, and thanks for coming by, Davey. Do we have any other Iowa check-ins? Kilo Delta Zero Juliet November Quebec. Now I'm going to call for Illinois check-ins. Do we have any Illinois check-ins?
This is Kilo Delta 9, Yankee Tango India, Jeff in Moline, Illinois. Good evening.
India. Jeff. Thank you, Jeff. Appreciate it. Do we have any others in Illinois? Okay, got that one. Let's just see. Do we have anybody who's in Wisconsin, Minnesota, Missouri, any of that area? Can you come on in now? Okay, looks like we've got that. Contacting and waiting for this. Did you make it tonight? Okay, well, here's what I want to do. This is my partner in crime on this, and we got 3 check-ins today, Terry. So, Terry is a very experienced, been around a long time, ham radio operator, and he's wanting to do this too and experiment with the various digital methods. And I would like to introduce him to you today. He is from Davenport, Iowa. He lives outside the golf course, but that doesn't mean he's one of those kinds of people that spends their time there. It just means he's right over that way. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Terry, just let us know what your expectations are and what you got for the fireside tonight. KD0JNQ, it's all about you, my friend.
Okay, Steve, WB0VQP here. Well, I think, whatever we do, we just have to keep it sounding professional on here, because we got to remember that anybody in the world could possibly tune in and listen to this, and we don't want it to become a thing with a bad name. So having said that, well, let's see. I've been playing with digital here, and I've been playing with the FL Digi program and HF, and I just now saw a DX call here, Lima United 5 Bravo Echo. I'm not even sure where the heck he is, but I just finished a QSO with a guy in Seattle on digital keyboard to keyboard here. I'm just kind of getting started at this, and it's really I found it really confusing, but it's kind of fun. I'm going to unkey here. So it's an interesting mode, and it's interesting to like FT8 is just, you go in, you make contact with someone, they give you the RST, that signal report, you give them an RST signal report, you both say Roger, and then you move on to the next one, and that actually, believe it or not, counts as a contact toward many different awards. So I've been playing with that quite a bit, and probably have several hundred different contacts on that. It's kind of the neat thing to do. So I've been a ham since 1975 or 76, when I was a junior in high school, and I've been playing with radio long before that. Listened to Dad's old Philco shortwave receiver, and so I've been around a while. I don't claim to know everything, and my background was in electronics and 2 years in tech school electronics. So I don't claim to know everything, but sometimes I can help people out. I'm going to turn it back to you, Steve, at WB0VQP.
Okay, WB0VQP. Thanks for all that, Terry. And this is something that Terry's really hitting hard on, and it finally sunk into my mind that we just got to do something. Okay, and it is the digital modes. I know I'm the kind that just likes to key up a microphone and go at it, and Terry's the kind that likes to type, do whatever. He's got a really awesome little shack over there. If you ever get to be friends and you get to sit down, you'll be able to enjoy the shack that I seen when I was there. And just that we could all get in and study this mode because today is first we're in the American QC wide. I am going to work on expanding it. I've been working with a little bit of Echolink for that digital mode. Terry has been talking about FT8, and I think we'll just take and we'll let him learn the FT8 and maybe teach us here as we go, and just go from there. I do know that there's another repeater that's going to be coming up online, and we're going to have other digital modes to talk about, and we're going to try to deal with them here too. Is DMR and back to the ICOM um, digital mode. So we'll go there, and it'll just be cool to be able to get involved. So if anybody has any ideas, please give it to Terry. And me and Terry will have to talk a little bit more because I'm a little lazidistical. Maybe that's the word I'm looking for because I just like to get out here and make everybody feel comfortable. But Terry does have a strong point. In making people feel comfortable, we are also great citizens of a great country, and we want them to see how great of people we are. Anyway, and I got that. Is that well said, Terry?
Yep, I think that's what I was trying to get across is, as long as it's legal and it's in decent taste, and we can do it. And I'd like to get more people involved. It'd be kind of neat to have just have an informal get together where we can sit around and kick things around and figure out what's going on. I'm not sure where this guy is. I'm watching him, but his name is Horatio, and he's in Baires City, Baires City.
Give me his call again, Terry. I didn't get it all written down, and we'll just see if he wants to come in.
Well, he's on digital here. It's LU5 Bravo X-ray. LU5 Bravo X-ray.
Okay, well let's just see here. LU5 Bravo X-ray. LU5 Bravo X-ray. Can you come back to us? This is Steve, Kilo Delta Zero Juliet, November, Quebec. We'd like to get you to start coming in and letting us know about what you got going on wherever you're at in the world with digital radio.
No, Steve, I got him on on the digital side of HF here is where he is, and he wouldn't have that capability to make this to us. But that's kind of where that's the neat thing about this digital stuff is you never know who you're going to run into.
Well, that's what I really appreciate about it, Terry. When we first got it started up and we had the wires box turned on, we had George. He had I think there was 3 people from Australia that would get in here and a bunch of locals, and then we had I forget what his name is down out of Florida, and another one out of Texas. They were members of the club here at one time, but they've just moved. And it was just awesome being able to talk to, especially, I forget what his call is. I'd have to look it up in my book. I'm going to get a hold of George here after we're done. I'm going to give him a call. But that was the most awesome part. And when I first started the net on the 775, Dave Mayfield had that, just got that digital repeater. And we had a few people from England in that area that would check in through the wires box, which was really, really awesome.
Okay, I just looked this guy up on QRZ, and he's in Buenos Aires, Argentina.
Oh, cool. Oh, that's what's cool. Yeah, down in Argentina. And the neat part about this particular part of the digital radio band is I don't know if what you're talking that you got him on there is more keyboard bound, but this here it's nice to be able to key up a microphone and be able to say hi. You know what I'm saying? All right, then Rob, I'm going to need some of your
Yeah, and
advice.
that's one thing that FT8 kind of leaves out. It's not an interpersonal communications. It's just a contact and your signal report 7.3, and then you go on to the next guy. So it's kind of it's not really fulfilling like having a contact or voice contact with someone. But where I'm at right now is I'm operating on one of the digital modes here that I'm using is what the heck mode am I? I'm on Olivia. That's where
Oh,
I am, and it's keyboard to keyboard, and you type back hi, and where you're located, what their signal is, and the last guy I contacted here was he said, "Oh yeah, I know where the Quad Cities is." He said, did a motorcycle trip. He says, went all the way down to Mississippi, all the way to the Gulf. And he was just out of Seattle, Washington, where he was. So
oh, cool.
it's on HF, and it's just kind of a neat thing to play with.
Well, I suppose I like your idea of what you really mentioned in at the club yesterday. I think it was you who mentioned it anyway, and maybe that's more what we need to do, especially in the presentation period. Just take a few times, write on around, and use that presentation period for this. And I just looked down. I got one person who told me that they were in and out. They got busy. But I have another one to come in, Terry. So I hope you don't mind if I just go right to YIT. I didn't get the first part of the prefix, but I know Jeff. He come in from Moline, and I want to give him a little bit of time to be able to come in and converse with us. And now that he understands where our conversation is at, Jeff, bring it on in here and let us know how you're doing, my friend, and exactly what we could learn from you and what your experiences have been with digital radio. KD0JNQ, it's all about you.
Well, good evening, gentlemen. KD9YTI, Jeff and Moline. Yeah,
KD9.
I'm kind of on the other end of the spectrum as far as experience goes from Terry. Just got my license in August, so I'm a newbie. Just trying to soak it all up, play with some toys. I'm really enjoying the idea of a digital net. This is my first foray into Wires X, so brand new at this. And I'm just ready to learn a lot of things. I am pretty excited. You mentioned EchoLink. I use EchoLink quite a bit. I call into some nets on EchoLink. There's one in Eagle River, Wisconsin that I've been calling into, and they have 2 or 3 people from Australia that call into that as well. So I guess I'm open to everything. I just want to learn as much as I can. So, and I love the nets. I love the idea of the nets. And I feel like they give me good practice. They're a great opportunity to learn how to carry yourself on a radio, how to observe the protocols, etc. I'm going to let it break here for a second. But anyway, yeah, I don't have a lot of obvious insight to add. I have not been at this as long as you gentlemen have, but I'm always willing to learn. I kind of like the idea of having this fireside chat format where you can just kind of sit around and people like myself can learn from the experience of others. That's why I love going to the club meetings as well. So anyway, I will turn it back to you, KD9YTI.
Okay, Terry, what do you think? KD9YTI Jeff too. This is the other thing where you will really help me and Terry out because, especially like I think Terry can identify with me. It gets really difficult for me to know how to come up with new subjects to teach us ourselves on these things because we've been doing it. So we miss out on things. And with somebody new and fresh like you are, you can bring out the questions that we should let people know that. But I figured it out, and in my case, in 2009, That's something I think that we really appreciate you coming in over, Jeff. What do you think, Terry? You think that that's a good piece of what we're doing here?
WB0VQP. Yeah. First of all, welcome, Jeff, and welcome you on here. Um, I know I know the feeling. Um, I was just thinking back to the days when I first got my license, and then thinking, okay, now what do I do with it? When I got my license, it was a novice ticket, and it was only good for I think 2 years, and then if you didn't upgrade, you lost it. So they changed that and made the novice where you could continue to hold it, and changed my call sign, which was initially WN0 VQP. They changed it to WB0 VQP. They did away with the N designator for novice. So it was a while before I got, involved in ham radio at all. And it was mostly after I moved here to the Quad Cities in '79. So, I think it's a very good hobby, and it's fulfilling. Uh, Drains a pocketbook, so you have to kind of watch that too. So, back to you, Jeff. WB0V.
89 White. Yeah. I agree. The pocketbook, you have to watch it. And I'm the kind too. When I get into something, I want to explore every facet of it, and I start to open up that pocketbook. So I agree. I understand. Yeah. Yeah. Appreciate the sentiments. And like I say, I'm happy to learn new things. So I'm willing to be a participant of this net. I know right now you're just kind of figuring out how frequently this is going to happen, but I'll do my best every time to call in. Yeah. Other than that, I'm just trying. There's nothing else really. I don't think of revelations. I'm starting late too. I'm 57 years old, so I've had scanners for years. I toyed around with radios. And I was kind of fascinated with radios from the time I was a kid when my uncle lent me his big shortwave radio when I was probably in junior high. So never been a big tinkerer, but I am a listener, and I decided, yeah, you know what, it's time to key up the mic. So I decided to get that ticket. And I'm studying for the general, so I do plan on pursuing that as well. I'm in the middle of doing that right now. But again, I just appreciate everything. I appreciate the work you're doing. I appreciate you running the net tonight. And like I say, I'll be out there listening and joining in. KD9YTI.
Okay, well, we thank you for that, Jeff. And gosh, now I remember who you are from last night. It was awesome introducing myself to you and getting to meet you. There are a lot of people that were planning on being here, and I'm not sure what happened, but I want to thank you also for coming in because I know there's a lot of people out there that just listen to us chatter here, and they're afraid to key or afraid to go take the test or whatever it is. And I want to thank you for that. And gosh, for whatever there is that we can help you with, I don't know what you need, but you can ask me. Terry will be the brains of the operation. I'm usually just the one who collects all the stuff. Now, me and Terry, I know we met when the barber shop was open. Jerry and Ron had a meeting place for ham radio operators, and they also sold various types of radio equipment, and that's where we met. And I know they were the ones that took and really were an influence on me. We went through a lot of operators since then. So KD0JNQ, it's to you, Terry.
Roger on that. WB0VQP. Yeah, Jerry and Ron did a lot, as far as promoting ham radio without even realizing that's what they were doing. And it was a good place. I like to hang out down there, and a lot of times they would have a piece of equipment that was really messed up, and they'd have me sit down. And most of the time, I could fix it if it was worth fixing.
This is what's cool.
And it was always a challenge.
You want to key Dave
Sure
or
miss
not?
those two guys. I was thinking about them the other day, and it was a good time. We were down there, and those guys had been around the 27 megahertz stuff for years and years and years, and finally decided to
Is there
get on
volume
ham
there, Dave?
radio, and I think they both very much enjoyed it.
Oh yeah, and you know the big ones that I met there that I really remember, Terry. I don't know if you remember Fred, the guy with the little speaker box because he lost his voice. He was awesome, and Big Jeff and Ron himself and Jerry. Ron and Jerry took an actually and they paid for my first license test time and bought me my first membership into the club. And it was people like that and things like that that really encouraged me to keep going and keep everything I know to do to make people feel comfortable when they come in and chat. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. And this is all about you there, Mr. KD9YTI, KD0JNQ.
Yeah, that's a lot of what I've been doing is just sitting and listening and just exploring the digital side of things too. Like I said, this is my first time just even using Wires X, and I guess that's the other question I have. Maybe a gentleman can answer for me because I know when it comes to, well, for example, the KC Wide, that Wires X room, I'm not sure what the protocol is when you get onto this repeater. If you wanted to join in on the KC Wide, is it? I guess I don't want to violate any protocols. Can you change the room and move over to that room? I think there's a reset at some point, but I was just kind of curious about that.
WB0OLX from beautiful Texas.
Oh,
You take a wrong turn in Bluegrass, Craig?
Zero OLX. Craig.
No, I'm down here in Texas right now, North Padre Island. Yeah, we just decided we're gonna put together an informal get together on Wednesday evenings here on the digital side and see if we can get some people to cooperate. Because although the Wires X thing is really neat and it lets people that are out of town or whatever communicate. It's just the way of the future, and I think that's what we decided to do. Over.
Well, we must have lost Craig because I don't hear him there. And this is a fine example, Terry, of why I think we need to really put some gas to this thing as we give Craig a reason to be able to come on now because we know how important OLX has been to the club and to the people of the community in the ham radio world, just helping them get going and keep going. So this is just something I think is really cool. Over.
It really is. I mean, we're down here in Texas right now and using it, one of those hotspots, Pi-Star hotspot into the internet and was able to get into the Wires X repeater up there in the Quad Cities through the Quad City Wide. So, yeah, digital mode is definitely evolved.
So we've got Craig.
Am I into the repeater? WB0OLX.
Yeah, you're here, Craig. We're just kind of sitting back here trying to figure out how to get it going and keep it going. I guess we'll have to figure a center point to where we can keep that going. And yeah, that is the neatest thing about it. And it's just really cool. I'm not sure what kind of radio are you using down there, Craig, or just the hotspot, or does that have to go through a radio? I was never really sure how them little gadgets work.
Jumps in. So Go ahead, Craig. WB0VQP.
We gotta organize this better. I'm gonna let Terry be the net, the control.
Okay, Terry, very fine. Yeah, I wasn't sure whether I was dropping or not. I turned this thing down on low power because I'm just inside the little townhouse down here. But I didn't want to disturb the wife. She's in the front room, and that's where that little hotspot at. I was in the back bedroom, and evidently it was too far for on
Is there
low power
radio
anyway.
audio in
But
there, guys? Can
I
you
did
hear the
happen
radio?
to turn it on the other day to the QC wide, and seen Don AMA in there, and I thought, oh, okay, and then Kelly HAM. So just left it over there on that, and thought, well, in case I hear any activity,
Must
then
not
I
be.
kind of jump in there. But enjoying it down here in Texas. Won't be leaving here till about I think the 29th we leave down here.
All right. 1 2 1 2 1 2. Okay, that's got audio. We got one listener. I'm not sure. It must be Rob. Is that you, Rob?
Well, very good, Craig. Yeah, you made a good signal. You got a good signal in here. And I understand that. Are you catching any fish down there? Over.
Hello? Okay. I'm not
Well, I
sure.
haven't been out here for lately anyway. I did. I and a bunch of guys hired a guide to take us out there, red snapper fishing, and of course we limited out. I think I had 50 pounds of red snapper. They took them in a group down here, and then we went up to one of the restaurants up in Port Aransas and had them cook them for us, and boy, were they delicious.
Okay, we are getting audio.
Go ahead, Steve. It's your turn. WB0VQP.
Okay, okay, Terry, I was getting in there, and I thought you guys were having a good conversation. Yeah, gosh, it sounds pretty good down there that way, Craig. Man, I'm gonna tell you what. Are you learning anything else about how to get the fish fried up? No, maybe, could be, should be. I'm gonna learn this thing. This is awesome, guys. This is something that we really need to get into.
No, I'm not. Just brought that hotspot down and hotspot that I built up down, and then the HT here, and
We're gonna
that's
just keep
it.
this up.
No, we didn't bring any HF gear down here or anything like that. This is it, just to kind of pass the time of day a little bit when kind of when TV's not very good or getting dark outside or weather's a little bad. But hey, it's 75 degrees today,
Oh, man.
and enjoying it.
Well, it's getting to be about like that here, man. Here it's 45.1 degrees here. It almost makes you feel like going skinny dipping. You know what I'm saying? So are you just down in Texas for? Are you going to do this every winter? Just go down there during the cold months, or you're just on a vacation?
No, Steve, we're just coming down here for like basically the cold month, just January and February, and then come back at the end of February or the first part of March.
Oh, cool. Okay. Well, I'm going to tell you what. I'm going to let Terry get back in here. We'll just keep going right around the table here. And thanks for coming, Craig. Also, to let you know, if you put my name in to YouTube, I'm going to be YouTubing this too every day that I'm here. I think we're going to go to just do this every other week and see what we can get. I got to be real careful because I, I I don't have a whole lot of time to be able to devote to another keying experience, which I really want to be a part of. But I want to help to get this started and get it going, and just be there to keep it going. And so we're working on that. But it's also on YouTube if you would like to go there. We're going to try to find another way to bring it in. I'm also trying to figure out how to get Echolink patched in here too.
WB0VQP. Greg, were you aware that John Owenshell passed away, and also KB0BA also passed away? Yes, I was. I talked to Mike after I heard that John passed away. I said that we're down here and wouldn't be able to make it, and tell the family and that our condolences and everybody. But that's the best we could do. And then I just heard about Lowell Tennyson.
KD0.
Yeah, I just wondered, where are you in Texas? Lori's brother lives in San Antonio. We were down there about a year ago in the fall, and hotter than the devil down there back then. And we went on the river cruise, and then we were going to go to the Alamo, and it was just too darn hot that day, so we didn't go.
So why am I not on here?
Well, we're right just south of Corpus Christi, but on a little island part right on the Gulf. And of course, you remember Marty, old BCE. He's in Spring, Texas, just north of Houston. W5MF now is his call. But thought we'd come down here for a couple of months and again, just being enjoying it.
Wow. Am I even on? That's the thing.
I can understand that. And we enjoyed the trip down there, and it took a long time. I had just bought the new truck, and we took the new truck down there, and we got a little concerned though because they were stealing those trucks right and left down there in San Antonio and taking them across the border.
Audio
so
check.
We were a little concerned about our truck might disappear, but other than that, it was a good trip down there and a good trip back.
Okay. Audio.
Oh, okay. Very good. Well, I don't really mean to hog it here, but I do have a question. How are they interfacing the Wires X repeater into the Pi-Star network? Because it has to be, my understanding, that has to be bridged and everything. So somebody's evidently doing the bridge and everything to get that accomplished. Because otherwise, I can't hear it on that through that Pi-Star unit. I have no idea, Craig. I do know that, of course, the Pi-Star takes your signal and puts it on the internet in that protocol, and then the internet routes it to this repeater group that we happen to be on, and I have no idea how that's set up or anything else. I was not involved in that at all, unfortunately.
AE0IT. I think what we're doing is AE0IT. Craig is running a reflector, and somehow this is it's reflecting through his two. It goes into the repeater, goes to our 200 box, and then that somehow sends it to or through a reflector that AI0IT is running.
I kind of thought maybe Mike was doing that because he's usually up and abreast on all that stuff. So I'm glad he's doing that because it kind of helps me down here. I can do it this way. The 9.4 repeater. WB0 OLX, I suppose. I ought to do that, but I don't think you really have to ID on the digital because it's automatically ID'd.
Roger on that one. Yeah, I got to get with Mikey a little more on how that works. He's going to help me figure out how to get a few other part of the digital modes in place so we can also use that. Now that we know we have you in Texas, and we have a few others in Texas and one in Colorado, and I've got Marty, I believe is his name, who is in Florida, now that I think about it. He's in Florida, and we're going to try to get it so we can get him checked in too. Roger?
WB0VQP. The beauty of this system is basically it extends VHF and UHF coverage all over the world. You know, it's accessed with VHF or UHF, or like you have, Craig, there, the Pi-Star hotspot. I've got one here at home as well. Come decent weather in the spring, I would like to get a UHF antenna up here at my place and get that the Yaesu repeater on the air. I've got the Wires X box for it and everything here, so I'd like to get it up and running as well. Over.
W0VXR. So how about Muscatine?
Well, the nice part about the hotspot is, the Pi-Star is you can use basically your radio and come out through, System Fusion. You can use DMR come to System Fusion and get into the 9.4 repeater that way. You can use the Yaesu one that they use. Of course, I'm using the Yaesu HT down here at the present time, but any of them modes you can cross over. It makes it really handy for people of all over and be able to get in.
That it does.
Go ahead, Steve. It's your time.
Oh, that's okay. I'm learning. I guess maybe this Pi-Star thingy. I probably need to buy one of them just so I can take and learn how to run that too. Right now, I was messing around with looking for W0BXR on the Echo Link, but apparently I didn't get it right. And so just trying to get it going and see how to work with it. So I know I want to find one of the 200 boxes because I want to put the 400 that I have here in line with it. And that way I've got my own place that I can at least learn and not interrupt anybody else. And it makes it pretty nice. And you've got a C4 FM Yaesu repeater over there, Terry?
Yes, sir. It's brand new, still in the box. I haven't even opened the box on it. Over.
No, Roger on that one. Yeah, gosh. I can't wait to get that one up in the air. I know we're really trying hard to get the one that we got. I think it's called a Bridgeport repeater. You get it going so we can get D-Star and the Motorola one, whatever that is, back in town here so people can use it too. Anyway, right back to you, Craig. What do you got going on, dude?
Don't have anything going on. I think we're missing somebody in there. Haven't heard anything. I'd have to look at the
I forgot you had.
tablet here to find out what the calls are on the dash. But there's one guy from Moline, I think, that was in there. Haven't heard anything from him for a little bit.
Yeah, this is Jeff, KD9YTI. Yeah, thanks. No, I've just been listening. I guess sitting at the feet of the masters, right? Just been listening to the conversation about the technologies. I find it very interesting. And I was going to ask as well, if it's okay with you guys, Steve and Terry. I created the Facebook group for the Riverbend Club. I thought I would just put something out there about this net and see if we can get some other digital users, make them aware of this net going on. So would that be okay?
It's straight up, yeah. Go for it, man. We need to get this going. When you do advertise it as 2 days out of the month. It'll be the first and last Wednesday of the month, and then that way we kind of don't. I got to still get this figured out with KC Wide to be able to get in on that particular part of it of wires, but we'll keep it that way. And once I get figured out what KCY's got going on, then we can really get into this. So let's just make it the first and last Monday of the month. So that'll help us out that way. How's that sound? KD0JNQ.
Not a problem. So Monday or Wednesday? You said Monday. Just want to make sure I get the day right.
I'm sorry, Wednesday, because that way it gives a little bit of a leeway time, because I know they have two nets that are going on Monday and Tuesday on KC Wide, and I kind of want to include them people if we need to for a little more traffic, because they bring in a lot of traffic too. But then I know once we get our traffic going, then it's going to be kind of hard to get it all done in an hour, but we can make time that way. But no, Wednesday. I'm sorry about that.
WB0VQP. Steve, you know that if we do it the last Wednesday of the month and then the first Wednesday of the next month, that's going to be 2 weekends or 2 weeks back to back. It might be better to do like maybe the first and the third Wednesdays.
Oh yeah, okay. Or could we do something different, a little bit different, Terry? maybe we'll shift it up and make it the second Wednesday and the fourth. Because the third Wednesday, I'm really busy, and I want to make sure, just in case we don't have anybody here in the future, to be able to take care of net control or make sure that somebody's here. Unless you can be here every week, then we can do it that way. It's just that third Wednesday, I got a lot of things I do. Roger?
Yeah, sure. I don't have a problem. It's just, it seemed it seemed, kind of be kind of hard to get,
Yeah, people like
to get it, 2 weeks in a row. And so I think, that'll work just fine. Like the second and fourth, that'd work just fine with me.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, put it in as a second or first and or second and fourth Sunday. That'll be two, and then that way we can get it going. So next month or the next net that we have, we'll just take and do the 28th of this month. Will be February 28th. Okay, and we'll do that. We'll do that way. Does that sound agreeable, Terry? And then we'll go to the second Wednesday, which will be the 13th of March. And then we'll go to the fourth one, which will be the 27th. That'll work out really great for me, if that's okay with you.
Okay. Here. When you want to do the next one?
Yeah, we'll do February. It's like February 28th will be the fourth Wednesday. And then after that, we'll go to the second Wednesday, which will be 2 weeks later on the 13th of March. And then we'll go on that every 2 week rollover, which will be the second and fourth Wednesday of the month. Does that sound cool?
Yeah, that sounds good to me. Sounds good to me. What do you think, Craig?
Whatever. It really doesn't make any difference with me because we're not around too much.
Okay, I like it. That sounds cool to me then. I think that'll work out. What do you think? Dave, are you there? I think that's what we'll do then, Terry, is we'll just call it second and fourth Wednesday of each month. That way we get it going and we're not too close together. And when summertime comes and it dwindles down pretty much, we won't be obligating ourselves to maybe things that we have planned in the summertime too. I like that idea if you do.
Sounds good to me. All right, guys, I'm going to get off here, and thanks everybody for checking in tonight. And maybe we tell our friends and neighbors about it. Maybe we can get them in the next time. 7-3, everybody. WB0VQP.
Okay, Terry. Well, we'll catch you next time, and that'll be on February 28th. Will be our next meeting, and then we're going to go on we'll go on the second and fourth Wednesdays of the week. So February 28th for our next gathering here, y'all, and we'll keep it open for regular repeater conversation. But as far as the net, I'd like to thank Jeff for coming in and his volunteering, and anybody who can help us out too, and just on how to conduct ourselves so you all get a turn and we keep you in the loop. We appreciate it. Me and Terry will have to talk on that too, so we can keep each one of us going and just keep it in a moving type of fashion. So we thank you for coming in, Craig. We thank you for coming in, my friend, all the way from Texas today, and we'll catch you next time, probably here in the Quad Cities. KD0JNQ will be returning the repeater back to its regular intended use, and that's to sit here and talk for those who stay. Thanks, Jeff. Okay, so February 28th.
You bet, Steve. Yeah, I will make sure and get that information out on the Facebook group, and I'll see if we can get that out on the club, the Riverbend Club's website as well. And I'm sure someone like Kevin or somebody can get that into AM can get it on the Davenport Club's their site and group as well. So appreciate you running it. I'm intrigued by it, and I'm looking forward to it.
BBQ's still there? I got to remember how to read this. Okay, you're welcome, Jeff, very much, and we'll look forward to that. I'll get a hold of Mike here in a little bit if I can. And Mr. OLX, once again, thank you. I appreciate it, and we'll look forward to hearing from you next time we're here. KD0JNQ.
KD0JQ, KD0JQ.
Go ahead, Dave. Bring it on in. KD0JNQ.
Give me a couple if you got a minute.
I didn't hear that. What did you say? I got a click, and that was it.
Give me a call if you got a minute.
Okay, give me a second, and I'll get this off, get my phone found, and I'm calling you. KD0JNQ, and we're going to turn off the YouTube too. So thanks for coming in. Thank you all. Appreciate it. Good day.